Welcome to Hindsight 2020, the talk show that discusses how 2020 affected our lives. I'm your host, Colin.
And I'm Alyssa. You know, Colin, there are infinite ways in which the year 2020 affected our lives, and it's important to remember that not all those effects were negative.
Right. I mean, most people think 2020 was like the worst year ever. We couldn't travel like we wanted to. We had to suffocate ourselves in masks everywhere we go, no going to the movies, and many people lost friends and family members. But there were some silver linings.
Exactly. Like, true, we couldn't go to the movies like we used to, but that meant we could stream more things from comfort of our home. Not being able to see friends and family members as regularly meant a lot of people realized the true value of those relationships.
Agreed. And you know what else I did not realize was so valuable?
What?
My Grubhub account.
That's right.
I never realized how important it was to have food delivered to me every day. I never realized how much I hated going to pick up food until 2020.
Yes, my Grubhub and Amazon accounts became my besties overnight.
Literally.
You know, we've been talking about how the pandemic affected our family, shopping habits, and our pastimes for entertainment and food, but what about how it has affected the way we learn?
Absolutely. The pandemic has affected students on a global level, literally changing the way we think and go about schooling. In many ways, it has made it more challenging, but also in many ways, it has opened up the doors for innovation and creativity in the world of education.
Like they say, necessity is the mother of innovation. So let's see how students at Sam Houston State University have been handling education during the pandemic.
My name is Samuel Hernandez. I'm 19 years old. My house resides in the outskirts of campus, where all the hills are. I work as a professional League of Legends player for SHSU esports, and I get home every day by 8 p.m. at the latest. I'm in bed by 11 p.m. and make sure I get 8 hours of sleep, no matter what. After having 4 Red Bulls and doing about 2 hours of League of Legends before going to bed, I usually have no problem sleeping until morning. Just like a baby, I wake up without any fatigue or stress in the morning. I'm trying to explain that I'm a person who wishes to live a very quiet life. I take care not to trouble myself with any enemies, like winning and losing. That would cause me to lose sleep at night. That is how I deal with society, and I know that is what brings me happiness. Although, if I were to fight in League of Legends, I wouldn't lose to anyone. I'm from the city of Houston, Texas. I'm majoring in computer science so I can help the people who I adore that made my favorite game in the world, League of Legends. I've been here for around, it's hard to say. I've felt so many times, but one day I will graduate. I really enjoyed how quiet, peaceful, and just overall small it was. Yes. It hasn't really affected it too much because I am able to cave in myself and join Zoom calls. I didn't really have any challenges to begin with, neither positively or negatively. They did not affect me at all, whatsoever. I lived my life peacefully and normally like I always did. As I said before, I did not struggle whatsoever. I caved in myself into my room and enjoyed playing League of Legends. No.
Wow, that is a great story.
It really is, and there are many more great stories about how people overcame the challenges of the pandemic. And we are going to hear a few more of them when we come back from the break. Stay tuned.
And we are back with Hindsight 2020, the show that discusses how 2020 affected our lives globally.
Yes, because we all know hindsight is 2020, but what are some of the ways that 2020 affected you that you didn't clearly realize?
I would definitely say how little I cared about vaccines and what they put in them. Before 2020, we were told, hey, you have to get this vaccine or immunization, and you just scheduled an appointment and got it. You didn't question the doctor or ask for the ingredients. Now it just feels like you always have to question these medical decisions.
Yes, the COVID-19 vaccine has caused a polarization in this country that I have never seen before. But one thing for sure that I think most people can agree on is that everyone needs to educate themselves about their healthcare options and then make their best decisions for what is best for their body because everyone is different.
Indeed. And speaking of educating yourself, let's look at some more stories of people enrolled at our institution of higher education.
My name is Bertrand Best.
Where are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas, Southwest A-Leaf, Texas to be exact.
What is your major?
My major is mass communication with a focus in film.
How long have you been attending Sam Houston State University?
I've actually been at Sam Houston State for 4 years, but I'm actually a 5-year student. I transferred here from Wharton County Junior College in Sugar Land, Texas.
What made you decide to enroll at Sam Houston State University?
What really made me decide to come to Sam Houston was the change of environment. I really was always used to being in the city, and switching areas was really what allowed me to see that I could, grow and break out of my comfort zone.
What was your first impression of the school?
My first impression of Sam Houston was exactly what I expected it to be. It shocked me because regardless of where it's at, it's in a more rural area. There's a lot of diversity, and you just have to find it first.
Do you still have the same impression? Why or why not?
I actually still feel the exact same way that I felt when I first got to Sam Houston, except that feeling has improved a lot because I've met a lot of great people, connected to a lot of great opportunities, and all of those experiences have gotten me to where I'm at today, which is thankful that I decided to come here.
How has the pandemic affected your education?
The pandemic has affected my education in a few different ways. One, it has allowed me to, recreate how I did anything before. Two, it has also affected me negatively because I had to go from, being in person in class, getting hands-on experience with a lot of different things that I needed hands-on experience with, to being at a computer screen and expected to, perform the same way I would as if I wasn't at home. And then also it's affected me positively because it's shown me that uncertainty is real and you can't always plan everything out. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow. What I've learned about myself while being at Sam Houston is that I really value freedom and the ability to express myself. And also, I really enjoy enjoyment. And if I don't have those things, I'm not as grounded as I should be. So, those things have allowed me to experience great things.
What do you encourage people to do?
What I encourage everyone to do is, if you're dreaming about something, take it out of your mind and do something about it. Because the only person that can do anything about that is you. Nobody can make your decision for you. Always remember to be spontaneous here and there because things are uncertain. Also, there may be times when you do take that big leap of faith. Actually, always remember to take that big leap of faith. If you don't do that, then what are you even doing? When you do decide to do what people deem as impractical, but you feel is practical, there are going to be some really constructive things coming out of their mouths. But that's just because they haven't seen you do it yet. They might have seen someone else do it, and they believe that it's a 1 in a million thing. But once you achieve it, because you will, everyone is going to say, man, I always knew that you would be able to do it. But that's just how it has to go. So just go with the flow. Trust yourself. Believe in yourself. Open your mind and your heart. And anything is really possible.